The film community in Idaho is fantastic.
Tonight on 6 on Your Side at 10, a look at the works of some of Idaho's talented filmmakers and the local festivals celebrating and supporting their work. Plus, we dive into the history of some of the mainstays of the local theater scene to learn how they have thrived for decades.
6 on Your Side after the Oscars starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Karen Lair. A Boise man's story of hope and resilience is now being seen around the world. Shadi Ishmael is a gay Syrian refugee whose real-life story inspired the series finale of Little America, a new Apple TV show highlighting immigrants in the U.S. We first introduced you to him 4 years ago, and now his journey from the Middle East to the Treasure Valley is reaching a global audience.
Seeing my whole life, living it and see the actor how living my emotion brought a tear to my eyes. Like actually we couldn't stop crying, all of us.
It's an emotional journey with an overwhelmingly happy ending. Sitting on a couch in Boise, Idaho, next to his husband Ian, Shadi Ishmael watches his own story on Apple TV.
I will never forget how I was flying, like my heart flying.
In 30 minutes, the episode titled The Sun shows Ishmael's years-long fight for freedom after his traditional Syrian family found out he was gay.
I did know one time when in Jordan when I give up and I want to take my life. I know I was meant for something bigger than myself.
Now he says it's not just his story anymore.
Oh, Boise, look.
It's about so many others who can see themselves in his character named Rafiq.
They talk to me almost every week. We spend hours on me and the writers. I feel now my light, it's lighting so many people way to see you can make it, you can do. I come here speaking zero English. I lost everything. Build everything from beginning because sometimes you have to lose everything to gain everything.
Stories like this need to be heard. People need healing because everybody has a story, and if something within his story speaks to them, that may help them through whatever they're going through.
Production started in 2018, but Ishmael's episode almost didn't happen because of the travel ban put into place in 2017. Some of the episode's actors are from the affected countries, so the crew shot the show in Canada.
And see, this is when they find out where I work.
His entire life, he longed to see a story he could relate to on TV, and now it's his story, featuring an Arabic gay actor inspiring others.
I had the experience, I had the pain, I had the suffering, but now I can turn it to something better so people can always believe you have a hope. You can make it anywhere you go. You can find home when you want to be home,
Well, his story is still too controversial for some societies. The episode banned in nearly a dozen countries. The original 12 stories featured in Epic magazine are being published into a book available next month, and Apple TV has already signed on for a second season of Little America. More news coming up in just a moment, but first we take a quick check of the weather with Steve Liebenthal after a beautiful day.
Yeah, very nice day. Just a little bit breezy this afternoon, but sunshine like we haven't seen it in at least a week, and we'll see more of that tomorrow. Tomorrow will pretty much be a carbon copy of what we experienced today. Right now, temperatures dropping throughout southern and central Idaho. The temperature at the Boise airport is down into the mid-30s now. Feels like 20s because of that west-northwest breeze at 7 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, those winds will continue to die down. 25 for the morning low with mostly clear skies, and then the sunshine comes back tomorrow afternoon, but the wind also comes back, and we'll tell you how long that will last in just a few minutes.
A new milestone for representation in film. A pioneering group of Idaho artists is set to debut a new movie aimed at bridging the gap for actors with disabilities. It's a story our Anna Silver has been following for you over the last year. She joins us now live in studio to share a behind-the-scenes sneak peek at the nearly finished film.
Right, I've done several stories with these folks, so it's exciting to see. And the writer says Making Sense is unique because it's the first feature film to have actors with disabilities play characters in a film who also have disabilities. Making Sense explores the realities of living life with disabilities through the lens of 5 different characters. The executive producer and writer says the film has been a labor of love.
A friend of mine was paralyzed about 10 years ago, gave me the idea for the story because he said, look, I used to look away when I saw somebody with a disability, and then overnight I became that person. I became less of a human being. And I thought to myself, there's a story there.
This was Michael Barnett's first time acting in a film.
Being legally blind, having no center vision at all, I use adaptive glasses to kind of help me learn the lines. So I didn't have the luxury of having somebody, having the lines with me and saying, hey, I know the lines now. So they would have to read them back to me if I forgot a line.
One of the actresses says the story really resonates with her.
I have a niece that has Down syndrome, and I've always had different friends that don't either have sight or can't hear. And this world is full of people of different diversity, and I love that this movie brings an awareness to that. And being a part of something like that, being my first feature film, being such a big story of what it's trying to bring to the world is such a big deal to me.
The feature film is setting the stage for more to come.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, the team is still putting the final touches actually on the film, but of course they will be showing the work in progress version at the film festival.
That's awesome. Yeah. And a lot of people will be there, but if people can't make it all the way to Sun Valley, how can they still catch it? Is there a way yet?
So they're still working on it. They hope to get into other festivals across the country, and then they hope to make it onto a streaming service. So we'll keep you posted.
All right. Thank you, Anna. Well, Making Sense is just one of the many films shown at this year's Sun Valley Film Festival. Since 2012, the festival has been bringing the work of independent storytellers, artists, and filmmakers to Idaho's first ski resort. Now, that includes up-and-coming Idaho filmmakers. The One Potato Short Screenplay Competition aims to grow our local film scene.
You can be from anywhere in the world, submit your short script. The winning script gets $5,000 to start their budget, but it has to be shot in Idaho, has to be turned around in 1 year, and then it's shown at the next festival where we announce the winner and the cycle continues.
So this is video now of last year's winner, Girls Are Strong Here, which will premiere at this year's festival. You'll also find films coming out of Sundance and elsewhere, but SVFF is about more than just watching movies. Fans can also enjoy industry panels, a screenwriter's lab, and of course, the parties. Another highlight of the festival every year, the Coffee Talks, which have featured A-list Hollywood guests like Gwyneth Paltrow, Meg Ryan, Aaron Paul, and Clint Eastwood, just to name a few. And it's all coming up next month, and it could be you in those seats. You can learn more about the festival online at sunvalleyfilmfestival.org. Well, if that's not enough, or you'd rather stay closer to home, Film Fort is coming to Boise. It kicks off just a few days later as part of the Treefort Music Festival. The 3-day event is dedicated to showcasing emerging independent cinema. It features 10 films with Q&As with the filmmakers and DIY film panels.
We love things that push the boundary a little bit. We love thought-provoking documentaries, experimental narratives. The cool thing about a film festival is that you see films that you don't see anywhere else.
Now, if you have a Treefort pass, you'll be able to get in. You can also buy a dedicated Film Fort badge for $30. That will give you priority access to the screenings. Well, most of those Film Fort movies will be showing at the Flicks, and the theater has been playing independent movies since 1984, and nothing, not construction, nor cineplexes, nor the advent of streaming has shut it down. In fact, as our Roland Barris shows us, business is as strong as ever, even as towering hotels and restaurants have eclipsed the building. It's tonight's State of 208.
As Boise has grown, gems like the Flicks have become hidden.
Because I had people say, oh shoot, you tore down the Flick. I'm like, no, we're back there, we're still there.
A lot of things have changed since 1984 when the Flicks first went in. You can't even see the building from Myrtle Street anymore. The only indication that it's actually there is this sign.
They built 8 inches from my wall, but they let me put a sign on their property, so there you go.
Fortunately, the Flicks has a long-standing reputation that's still growing even faster than the urban jungle around it.
People that like to come here love to come here. You know, it feels more like home to them than a big multiplex.
Oh, I love the Flicks because it's real intimate atmosphere. They have wonderful food, and you can sit and have a glass of wine with your friends afterwards.
The flick shows only films you can't see anywhere else. Art house films, independents, and foreign films. Films that its owner wants to see.
You know, something thoughtful and artistic.
Bad Boys, Rambo.
No thanks.
All of the movies in these intimate theaters are currently up for Academy Awards, and most of the DVDs in the small rental shop are indies and award winners that you can't find anywhere else. So with all her knowledge of the industry, who does Carol think wins Best Picture?
My favorite movie this year is Little Women.
And the movie posters on the walls are more than just decoration. For instance, A River Runs Through It was the film that put the flicks in the black after a difficult first 7 years.
But that sort of put us on the map. We haven't lost money since then, which has been really nice.
Carol has had offers to replicate the flicks in other towns, but she knows it can't be done for one reason.
And I just feel like hands-on is what makes the flicks special. I can't be everywhere.
And she says there's no place left to expand the flicks, even if she wanted to.
I'm not young. I'm not going to make it any bigger.
Maybe so, but 35 years of experience has created the perfect formula that was always ahead of its time. And as they say, and the flicks knows, the classics never go out of style. Roland Barris, 6 on your side.
Well, for years now, we've been reporting on rapid growth in our state and carefully tracking its impact on our communities. You can find many more stories like this one under the State of 208 tab on our website, 6onyourside.com. Still ahead on 6 on Your Side, a sneak peek of the latest installment in our Finding Hope series. We'll show you how the Boise Police Department is supporting the mental and emotional health of its officers. And later in the newscast.
You're really the fastest guy in the West.
Ain't nobody faster than Bronco Billy.
We'll take a look back at the time Clint Eastwood came to town to film a maybe not so classic movie as we continue our After the Oscars special coverage.
Now, Steve Liebenthal with the On Your Side forecast.
Well, if you didn't get to enjoy that beautiful moonrise this evening, hopefully you got to enjoy some of the sunshine that preceded it during the day. It was a gorgeous Sunday in southern Idaho with a high temperature of 46 degrees, 3 degrees warmer than average, morning low right where we expect it to be. We did have some wind this afternoon, and tomorrow will look a lot like today with sunshine and a bit of a breeze in the afternoon. It's 35 now in Boise. McCall's actually gone up 2 degrees in the last hour, 17 degrees right now in Stanley. Most mountain locations will be in the teens or the single digits depending on where you are. Feels like 29 because of that breeze in Boise, 21 in Mountain Home, and the wind chill 17 degrees in Twin Falls. And we just have a bit of cloud cover coming out of the north. That will go away by tomorrow morning, so we'll see lots of sunshine throughout the day. High pressure dominating through Wednesday, and then storm systems are lining up once again to hit us, and we'll see those clouds increase on Thursday, leading to a chance of snow Friday morning here in the valley. We'll talk more about that in a moment. In the meantime, sunshine tomorrow, afternoon highs in the mid to upper 40s after morning lows in the low 20s. Again, that wind picks up especially in the afternoon. West Central Mountains looking at partly cloudy skies. A chilly start to the day with those lows down into the teens. McCall down to 14, 32 for the afternoon high there. And our valley extended forecast shows mid 40s right through the middle part of the week. In fact, 46 is our target right through Wednesday. Slightly warmer on Thursday with a high of 48 degrees. Those clouds will move in late in the day. Chance of showers, could be snow in the morning on Friday, but it will melt off in the afternoon, and there you see more showers of rain in the valley and snow in the mountains next weekend.
It was nice getting out the sunglasses and opening the sunroof today.
It was.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Well, for years now, our Finding Hope series has explored the issues of addiction and mental health in our state with the goal of reducing stigma and improving access to treatment. As we've reported, these challenges affect people from all walks of life, including the professionals who help others in their time of crisis. It's part of the reason why the Boise Police Department is working to expand its chaplain program to support the mental and emotional health of its officers. After years of having just one chaplain on call, the department now has 6.
This department's gotten to the size where it needs more involvement of others, and a single guy like me in that role is not going to even come close.
Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, our Frankie Catafias sits down with one of those chaplains to learn more about why the program is expanding and how it helps officers. You can also explore the entire Finding Hope series on our website, 6onyourside.com. Just click on the Finding Hope tab. Still ahead on 6 on Your Side, you can't miss it. An important piece of Boise's past and present sits right in the middle of downtown. How the Egyptian Theater became a cornerstone of local culture. Well, downtown Boise wouldn't be the same without it. The Egyptian Theater has been the anchor of the local entertainment scene for almost 100 years. If there were a category for historic theaters, the Oscar might go to this old brick building on the corner of Capitol and Main. 6 on Your Side's Don Nelson takes us inside.
The marquee lights shine bright at the Egyptian Theater and are a welcoming sign to all those who walk underneath them.
When you walk into the Egyptian Theater, you can feel it's something special about this place. It's almost like a trip back in time.
So in 1922, when they discovered King Tut's tomb, it sparked a wave of being really fascinated with the exotic. And so you see a rise in theaters and other architecture that model this Egyptian revival style that you see here.
As the years and decades passed, the Egyptian turned into the Fox, then the Ada, and back to the Egyptian. In the 1970s, there was a movement by a redevelopment agency to tear down this historic theater, like a Pied Piper playing its flute. What saved the theater from the wrecking ball?
The organ, when people realized that the organ was going to go away, they had one last show in here with someone playing the organ, and it kind of woke people up and saying, why are we going to lose this for a mall? And then you really start seeing that pushback on saving the historic structures.
We crawled underneath the stage to show you something pretty cool. This is the original organ from 1927 here at the Egyptian, and not too many people can still play this. You can see it is old. As a matter of fact, they have a film festival coming up, a silent film festival in February, where they have to bring somebody in to actually play it.
That somebody is one of the nation's leading silent film accompanists and will be here February 15th for a night of silent movies. And it's hard to be silent when it comes to talking about the elephant in the room, or in this case, the spirit in the room.
I have
Can you address that issue right now?
Yes, I really wish that all of the ghosts in the haunted buildings in Boise would tell us their story, but they don't want to talk to the historians.
But historians will continue talking to us.
Yeah, the acoustics are really great in here. In the 90s, they added like state-of-the-art equipment.
About this beautiful historic theater in downtown Boise. Don Nelson, 6 on Your Side.
Well, for another piece of Idaho movie history, just stop on Highway 2026 and head west. 30 minutes outside of Nampa, the Parma Motor View is one of the area's last surviving drive-in movie theaters, and it's been a family affair for 65 years.
In 1953, television had come to the valley and it was turning the movie industry upside down. And my dad thought a drive-in theater would help combat television.
Karen Cornwall's parents built the Parma icon in the 50s and operated it until 1976 when Cornwall and her husband took over. Through the years, the theater's technology has evolved with the industry from delicate film to all digital, but one of its biggest draws has stayed the same.
Probably the highlight of this place is our popcorn machine. It's the original. It's 66 years old, still popping the best corn in the valley.
Cornwall's entire family has grown up at the Motor View, with all of her children and now 7 of her grandchildren working at the theater at some point. Coming up on 6 on Your Side.
There's a lot of cool people moving into town. There's a really great arts center here. And just sort of that community foundation is always what makes these films possible.
We sit down with a local director to talk about his latest film and its roots in Boise.
6 on Your Side at 10 continues now.
Well, if you were around the Boise area in the late 70s, you may remember when Clint Eastwood and his film company came to town to shoot the comedy movie Bronco Billy.
If you were
Well, the movie wasn't exactly Oscar material. Those wins would come later for the film legend, but it left a mark on our community. Eastwood and his crew filmed all over the Treasure Valley, including Lake Lowell. One local woman led a project to remember the experience.
Actually, in the movie, you can see this monument base in the movie itself. At that time, it held a big plywood sign that said Visitor Center. And we're putting this sign up in its place so that people that come here know this is what you can see when you look at the movie.
Elsewhere in the movie, you can also see the rearing horse statue at the Ranch Club Bar in Garden City. Eastwood spent almost 2 months in the Treasure Valley shooting that movie using hundreds of local extras. A local filmmaker is taking his talents overseas. Director Will Van Taugen grew up in the Treasure Valley, and we've been keeping tabs on his success in the entertainment industry. As our Anna Silva reports, his latest film, Heritage, is set in Germany, but some of those scenes were shot right here in Boise.
In 2014, Will Van Taugen shot his first feature film in Boise called Almosting It. He says shortly after he finished that film, he started working on the script for the thriller called Heritage. It was shot mostly in Germany, where he took a small crew from Boise with him. But some of it could look familiar to locals. Some of the movie was filmed here inside the 10th Street station in Boise, and the bar was portrayed as if it were in Germany.
The scene here in this bar, we sort of filled with a lot of people, filled it up with smoke, and tried to pass it off as a Berlin bar, and it worked out as well too.
As well as other locations here in the Treasure Valley.
Since a lot of this plays in the mountains, scenes that we reshot, we actually just went up to Bogus Basin really quick. Had enough trees in the background, similar light, and they cut in. You can't tell the difference. There are some scenes that we shot over there in these sort of abandoned locations. And so in my parents' basement, I caused a little bit of a mess, built a set down there, and was able to shoot stuff that was cutting in with some of those rundown places as well.
He says 2 of the actors are from Boise, as well as other crew members.
They pretty much just gave up a month of their lives to come work on this film project in Germany, and we had a blast together. It was one of the greatest experiences I think I've ever had, and I think for some of them it was that way as well.
Anna Silver, 6 on your side.
Well, Heritage is a thriller about an American student in Berlin who is sent to the mountains to look for a colleague and then must find a way out. The film was released in German theaters, and you can find it online on iTunes. Here is a beautiful live view of downtown Boise from our tower cam atop the Red Lion Hotel. We will get a final check of the On Your Side forecast with Steve Liebenthal when we come back.
You're going to like tomorrow. It will be very similar, clear skies starting out at 27 degrees. We'll get down to around 25, and then an afternoon high of 45, lots of sunshine, but a bit of a breeze in the afternoon. And if you didn't get to see the sun rising this evening, just letting you know, moon set is at 9:03 in the morning. So 8:30 to 9, it's going to be cool.
All right, head out. You can wake up with Good Morning Idaho at 5 a.m.
Good night.
Download the 6 on Your Side app from your app store today. Portions of 6 on Your Side News are brought to you by Steve's Hometown Toyota and Optum Idaho.